Hello and welcome to another Facts and Dimensions tutorial video. In this video, I'll explain why some of the external tables that you add to your Azure DB have a 1 added to the end of the table name. Basically, when it comes to fact tables that we develop through our UKHF system, which is where most of our data goes, if we're loading revised data, that data has to be supplied into our system with a new version number. And so we've got views sitting on top of those tables with the same name as the table, but with a 1 at the end of the view name. And those views return the latest version of each snapshot of data. So that's basically why. Now let me show you. I'm going to start by adding this table, Sitreps cancer waiting list 2-week wait commissioner monthly. And I'm doing it twice. If you notice, this time with just those 2 parameters, and this time with 5 parameters. Now, the first time I run it, it's using the defaults. The default with, in particular, this one at the end, latest version snapshot only, being set to 1. And that tells the system that we want the view, not the table. This one, I'm setting that parameter to 0, which tells it I do in fact want the underlying table. So as you can see here, I've got the underlying table and the view that sits atop it. Now I'm just going to query those 2 external tables to help you see. So I'm querying for the April 2018 data, OOD, Commissioner OOD. And you can see here where I've queried the table, I've got 3 rows, and here where I've queried the view, I've got 1 row. The difference between these 3 rows is just the version number. It's April 2018, Commissioner OOD loaded in 3 times, each time with a different version number. And the view queries that table, but only returns the latest version number. And you can see that the actual value in that latest version number was slightly different to the previous 2 versions. Now, if I just show you the table that view uses to get the latest version, this is the release details by dataset, which I've shown you before because it's useful for you guys to use to see what new data there is. So here, I'm returning the release details for this Sitreps cancer table for the April 2018 data. Here's the 3 versions. And the only value that gets updated is this column here. So whatever the latest row is, will have a 1, the other ones will have a 0. And as you can see, version 1 is no longer the latest, version 2 is no longer the latest, version 3 is the latest. And the view, I will now copy in the code in the backend database that is used to create the view. So the way the view works, it's selecting everything from the underlying table, and it's inner joining on that release details by dataset table that I've just demoed down here, on the snapshot date and the version number, and picking out the specific table because all the tables are in there, excluding any audits, any imports that we've excluded because of an error, which is pretty rare. But most importantly, this field here is filtering this column so that we're only getting the latest version, where this one equals 1. And that inner join is what causes the view to only return that latest version. And that's it. Thank you very much.